Hello and welcome to another episode of Nolo Time. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good, no load time? Obed, good to be with you, man.
Good to be
Oh,
back, sir.
Mr. Mario.
Mr. Haha, it's me. Um, yeah, man, good to be back. We had a little bit of I guess scheduling conflict there last week, sir. If you know, you know, and we weren't able to record Thursday. Also, we were very busy, so we might as well take the week off. And but here we are. Good to be back. Good to see you, man. How you doing?
Yeah, doing great. Like I said, thank you everyone for your patience and sticking with us as we, took a little bit of a week away from the show. We were definitely not, we were off from the load time. We definitely weren't off. But
Yeah,
look, we wanted to be here. And of course, right as we were stopped away from recording, and the way news travels, like it feels like if you talk about something a week later, it feels like old news. But
right.
there's some stuff we're gonna talk about today. Deadpool and Wolverine. We're gonna talk about some really cool stuff that we didn't get to talk about last week. We would have recorded that. I hope you guys will enjoy for sure.
Cool. Um, I don't really have. Oh, wait. I do want to mention a couple things. I finished Invincible.
Okay,
That was real
nice.
good. That was real good. Highly
Season
recommend.
one.
Highly recommended. Um, I don't know if you saw, and I'm still waiting for like new episodes to trickle in, and I'm waiting for like the English dub to watch it with my daughter. But My Hero Academia is back. I don't know if you saw that it's on Netflix now. So now you don't
Oh,
have an excuse. You have no excuse to not watch
that's it.
it.
That's it.
So
I'm in.
yeah, highly recommended. I think the first four seasons are on Netflix,
Okay.
but that'll get you going. So yeah, good show. So just want to throw it out there because I know that you've shown interest in it. So I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna mention it to Joel.
No, thank you for the
See,
PSA.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
good.
PSA. So yeah, My Hero Academia is on Netflix. Joe, I'm back, bro. I played so much Dragon Ball Fighters online in the last 2 weeks since the last time we recorded. I ranked up.
We
I ranked up 2 levels
let's
on rank.
go. Beating
So,
down the normies.
bro, I can I know that I've gotten way better in just like 2 weeks of like picking it back up and being motivated. I'm back. I'm back, bro. I'm back. It kind of stinks because like I'm back and now the game is dying. Um, but I can find you know a match pretty quickly. Like I'm not waiting for a long time. If I turn myself on ranked, I can find a match pretty fast. That's on PS4. I haven't tried on PS5. I don't know if there's more people on PS5 right now. But it's usually like a full like you get like a lobby and a half. So you log in on a night, right? Say like tonight. I didn't play tonight, but um,
Sure.
I want to say Monday. Monday was the last night that I jumped in this week. Um, there's a full lobby and like half of another one. So we're talking about maybe like 80 people online, but you still get a match like really fast.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
not bad at all. Yeah, man, I'm back in. I got my team. I found some synergy, and I'm really excited. um, and
Sheesh.
I wish I had this excitement for Street Fighter Six. I don't know why. Like, I really like the game. I know it's a really good game, but I just don't feel the excitement behind it. And I think probably because this one, like my daughter, kind of motivated me to like jump back in and get better, right? And it's fun. And she comes in, she's my cheerleader, right? So I have a cheerleader, and it's fun. It's something to do, and and every time I get like a higher rank, like 2 ranks up, it's like, oh, you're gonna be able to do it. I don't know. And then I pull it off, and some really good matches with like higher level guys. But some other matches that I get, every once in a while I'll get a match that I can't do anything, and it's like, you know what, it is what it is, right? Like I can't
Yeah.
get salty, right? It's part of it. Um, but I'm surprised that I'm doing pretty good against like higher up ranks. Like even if I don't win, right, I get it to like almost there, and I was like, oh man, there was one man that I almost did a like a full comeback. Like they dude had like the all of his three characters had like full health, and he got two of mine knocked out. I had one left, and I got him like almost, man. And I was almost gonna be that, but I got nervous. I think I was like, oh, nerves got the best of
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
But oh man, it's hyped. I'm hyped, and I'm really excited to like. It's been far too long for me not to play that game, so I'm really excited, and I'm just gonna keep playing it until it dies. And I know that now that there's like an actual like PS5 version coming out. I know that when Sparking Zero comes out, a lot of these guys are either going to move over or find something new. Um, but like until the time comes, I'm gonna keep at it. So it's fun. So it's pretty good.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
It's the muscle memory, dude. Like, yeah, that's
dude.
it's all
Yeah, yeah.
you like you like.
Yeah. And
I just
I'm not even jumping in training. Like I would go in training and trying to experiment with something. I was like, oh, let
sure.
me see if this like I would come up with like stuff in my head
Yeah,
and I would put it on training. I was like, let me see if this works. Okay, it works. Next match, put it to use, right? That's how I'm rolling it with this game. I'm not really spending time training or anything. I just want to play. So I just go
let's
in, jump in.
go.
So yeah, see Otaku, maybe.
Training, bro.
Hey,
If you're
hey.
getting better this quick amount of time, dude, I just like want like a training montage of Obed and like your daughter cheering from behind, Eye of the Tigers
A guy, the
playing. Like
tiger.
you're just going at it.
Get a short. Yeah, I should do like a short or something. Yeah,
Yes.
I get it. Put
Let's
on the
go.
channel. Let's go. But yeah, that's been pretty much it. I've been wanting to catch up on some other things to watch, but it's every time that I have the opportunity, dude, I come in and start playing. And
Nice,
like I said,
nice.
I'm playing on PS4. I don't know if there's more like if there's more people on PC right now. The game's expensive on PC, but sometimes it just goes on like a really good sale. And if I find it super cheap on PC, I'll probably get it and see if there's more people. I don't really know exactly what other platforms are right now. I know that PS4 is not bad to get a match. PS5, I'm probably you know what over the weekend I'm just gonna jump in. I'm probably just
All
gonna
right.
do remote. Probably just gonna do remote
Sure.
play over and just see how many how many people are there and see which one's better. But the online it's been iffy here and there,
Sure.
and it's iffy because I start dropping combos. I was like, dude, I do this combo like 100% of the time on a training, and now I'm missing it. It's like it's the online, it's the netcode. So some of these problems are supposed to be fixed on the PS5 version. So um, we'll see. I'll probably check that out over the weekend. But
Nice.
yeah, dude, anything new with you?
No, I mean I decided to go and try and catch a series that extremely popular. There's a lot of things going on at the same time. So as many of you know, a couple of years ago you had uh the Rings of Power, you had you had Andor, and you had House of Dragons all out at the same time. And I barely had time between Rings of Power and Andor to watch. I just didn't get to watch House of the Dragon. So I'm going back right now and watching House of the Dragon. I am episode 4. And there's 8, I
Eight,
think,
I think. Yeah,
episodes.
I think it's eight.
So I'm basically halfway through it. Look, it's a good show. I mean, is it my favorite show? Some people act like it's their favorite thing on television. That's for many people out there. I think for me, has a little bit of like, I'm a Star Wars guy. I like my science fiction and like maybe a little less fantasy. This is not heavy into fantasy at all. It's more politics and like, I mean, that's what it is. It's like they're battling for the throne, right? So the whole idea of the Game of Thrones. So you kind of get that. And but yeah, many people who have watched this have told me how much they enjoyed this more than they did the original Game of Thrones series, which is incredible for a prequel series to hear that. I'm still with before you have that actors change, spoilers, because I know that the actors change like the older versions of them, like
Oh,
once you get to a
okay,
certain point, like a time jump.
got it.
But the actress that's playing young Rhaenyra, amazing job. Very much embodying that character in a really great way. And I believe she's also going to be playing, at least the rumors are, from I don't know if it's official, but I believe she's supposed to be playing Supergirl for James Gunn. So that is interesting nonetheless that you have an actress that did such a good job for HBO and then coming in again with Warner to come back to do Supergirl for James Gunn. I think if that is the case and that is what it sounds to be, we'll probably be in good hands. I am still bummed not to go on a tangent or change anything, but I'm still bummed that DC's not going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, or at least that's how they're
Right.
phrasing it right now. James Gunn at least is saying he won't be there. I don't know, man, but it's whatever.
Hopefully they bring something, or
Yeah,
there's something out there, even if it's
yeah,
like a video. It's like, hey, we're not there, but here's what we're
right.
working on right now. You know, yeah. Well, kind of a bummer, but yeah. No, I heard that Superman thing is like going, and they're like keep
Yeah,
adding stuff to it. So I don't know.
I know, right?
It's
They're
gonna,
they're deep in filming
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's gonna be interesting. So I'm very. That's a project that I am very curious about. I
And
mean,
then you get
consider
My Adventures with Superman coming in here. The love for Superman's high.
right. Um, it we all know how I feel about the Suicide Squad. I didn't enjoy it. Like to
Yeah,
me, that movie,
yeah,
you know,
same.
but I like Guardians 3 was phenomenal. Like
Right,
I think Guardians 3 is the best one, like of the
really good,
trilogy. Right, it's just
really
incredible.
good.
So just coming out of that, right, and then jumping into the DC stuff, you know, I'm very positive about what it could be, but at the same time, going back and looking at, he's there, he's unchained, and he doesn't have anyone to wrangle him back, and that seems to be his weak spot, right? Or it's like when he has too much freedom to do his thing, and he does it well. Like I can't, we can't deny it.
Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while, you need someone to come in. It's like, hey, if you reel it back just a little bit, right? You
The
can,
best creatives, that's the case. I mean, unpopular opinion, George Lucas needed that.
yeah, yeah,
I know, like we can get a lot of
right,
heat for that. Oh,
yeah,
George is amazing. Oh,
no,
he is amazing. George is awesome.
yeah, exactly.
Even he needed some people to say,
But he needed someone during the prequel trilogy to like
yeah,
running back a little bit.
right. It doesn't mean George isn't good. It doesn't mean James isn't good.
Right,
Need
totally.
some
Which I think is to a detriment that seemed to be the case with James Cameron, like after Titanic, has done like what, two movies, three movies, if that.
not much. Yeah.
And but that seems to be the case with James Cameron too. Like after Titanic, he's unchained and he's doing whatever he wants. And I was like, maybe you reel
Yeah.
it back a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it goes a long way. Um, but we'll see. I'm very curious about that project, so I'm very much looking forward to it. Bad Batch, putting the big spoiler sign out there, sir. Big spoiler alert for Bad Batch and X-Men 97. So, series ended. I think it ended in the happiest note that it could have ended,
Hmm.
and it had the best ending that it could have had. I think. Um, they they ended it in a way that it could be, that could be it, or maybe we'll find out what Omega's up to, like after the rebellion thing at the end, right? It could go both ways. Um, Overall, really like this season. I think this season was better than the last one because it flowed better. It didn't have like many down points. I think the Fennec Shan episode was probably the more forgettable one.
Yeah.
I did see a meme out there. It's like, which giant monster are the batch going to fight today? Which is like, oh yeah, you know what? Kind of, that kind of became a trend, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate. If I would grade the series as a whole, I would give it an 8. I'd give it an 8. which is very good, very still very enjoyable,
For
right?
sure.
Not it had not perfect. It had some
Nope.
shortcomings here and there, but overall, I'd give it an 8. I really enjoyed it. I really like the characters. Um, I think that them committing to Tech being dead was kind of like um, a bold move, and it paid
Yeah.
off emotionally because it emotionally paid off. And in this last episode, was like, oh no, it's like the squad's gone, like it died with Tech, so now we got to just do what's right and do the thing, right? So that was really cool. And yeah, that was pretty bold. Like we had our theories, and it's like I was waiting for that the trooper to
Yeah.
take the helmet off. I was like, oh
Yeah.
crap, it's
Same.
Tech.
Same. And
Yeah,
no.
and it didn't happen. I was like, oh man,
Nope.
they're committing,
They
and
committed.
that's great. That's great. Which is a problem that Star Wars had. It was like
Yes.
with especially with the sequel trilogy, them not committing. I mean, we all knew that the Chew was not gonna die, right?
No.
Because we
No.
saw
No.
it in the trailer. Like so it's like I knew when it happened. It's like he's not dead. There's other scenes in the trailer that they showed,
Yeah.
and I know he's like it hasn't
3PO
happened
and
yet,
like
right?
wiping his thing and stuff.
Right. They could have committed with that, right?
Right.
There's a few things that they could have just like straight up done it, but um, oh, I appreciated it. It was good. Interesting. I didn't catch so the previous episode from this last one. I didn't catch that it was the Zillow Beast that was underwater. I thought it was like a whale or something. I was like, and what? I was like, what's Omega going to do with a whale? It's like they're in the middle of the forest. So I didn't catch it. It was a Zillow, and then when the water went down, and I was like, oh, it's a Zillow, and then so it like and Palpy got the Zillow back in Coruscant, and he like wanted the EMP power or whatever he had, right? So that was cool. A little bit of a callback. Um, Previous episode was like the build up episode. Not much happened there. It was like it's basically Omega coming up with a plan, them trying to infiltrate. I did think that I thought that Wrecker was gonna eat it because he was hurt. He was hurt badly.
Same.
So I was like, oh man, it seems like all the signs are pointing that Wrecker's gonna it's gonna eat it. But no, they committed with Tech, and that was fine. Um, and then the crosshair thing with a hand, brutal, man. Like
Whew.
this episode was PG-13. This wasn't a kids
Oh
show.
yeah.
Yeah, this was especially this last one was pretty intense. Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the show. Whether it keeps going or they wrap it up here and that's it, I'm good either way. And I want to see what Filoni brings next, which I guess is the movie, right? Or is Ahsoka season 2 happening before that?
Well, yeah, I mean, our next Filoni project at least is coming out that's already been done is the Tales of the Empire that comes out on Friday or
Friday or
sorry,
Saturday?
comes out Saturday, sorry,
Yeah.
Saturday, which is perfect. Like, so we don't have to wait that long to have another thing in the same vein, which is pretty cool. They're shorts, but it's still cool. Um, yeah, but the next big project I would imagine is you're probably gonna first get Ahsoka before you even get the movie. Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like you'll get Ahsoka first. But
Right.
yeah, like this show overall, man, completely echoing your sentiments. I thought it was a really good ending. And there was a lot of things that I had expectations of like, oh, like you said, they're probably gonna reveal that, Tech is the one that is the main, trooper that's being mind controlled or however you want to say it, to be running that death squad of its own kind. And that wasn't the case. And then there was like things where I was like, oh, I bet you they're gonna show all of them, but Omega, like everyone's gonna die, but Omega, and Omega's gonna be the one person to live, and like, there
Oh
were things
yeah,
like that
yeah.
I thought was gonna
Right, right,
happen.
right.
And a lot that kind of some of it I thought from the beginning, but some of it like as the episodes went on, like when they go to this planet where obviously the retirement planet that they all are
Every
going
time
to. Yeah.
Space the villages.
Right, right. It's basically if you're in Orlando, you know. So it's like retirement.
Except everyone seems nice.
Stop. Okay, so space retirement home, that the space retirement planet that they all going to. Like when they showed that the Empire actually invaded it to get Omega, I was like, well, now this place is not a retirement home anymore. Like peace is
Right.
gone because they just showed up and completely invaded this place, these peaceful people, and just didn't care. So like, what makes them stop from doing it again? But they wrote it in such a way where when you go back now, where they're not really going there to hide. It's just that place just lives so independent of the Empire. The Empire doesn't need it for anything. The only reason why the Empire goes there is
Right.
if it needs, and there is no place in the galaxy the Empire wouldn't go well if they need something. And that's very true to
It's
just Star Wars lore.
it's kind of like Tatooine, right? There's no reason to go to
Yes.
Tatooine unless you're
No.
going for the droids and then you're leaving,
Right.
right?
Something you
Yeah.
need. That's the only reason why they're there.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like places like that are kind of like outside of the war and kind of independent in their own regards. Um, I think though, like the whole time jump thing at the end. So I don't know about you. I had a few people ask this. I don't know if they've confirmed anything,
So
but I took it.
it's sorry to interrupt, man.
Yeah.
'Cause it was really funny because it faded, right? And they were all sitting like under the tree, and I was like,
Um,
time skip, and then it happened. I was like, yeah. It's like
I thought that was the end of the
I was
episode,
waiting for
honestly.
that. Yeah, I was waiting for that. I was like, I was like, time skip, and then it happened. I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool.
That's
Okay, go ahead.
awesome. That's
Sorry, man. Go
awesome. No, you're good. You're good.
ahead.
But like when you get to that time jump and they're, Omega's all clearly older and you see Hunter older and like, she's gonna go out to join the rebellion. They didn't say, I don't know, but if you read anything or seen anything confirmed, I interpreted that as like more like the Battle of Endor timing or like Empire Strikes Back, kind of somewhere in that time frame. But I can't tell that for certain. Like where, or is it a battle that we haven't seen? Like, is this like connecting to Ahsoka? Like where like Ahsoka's getting like her militia together
So
essentially to take on Thrawn. Like, and it's somewhere in that weird timing,
so
if you
the
know what I'm
the
saying.
the way that I kind of like interpreted it was when Tarkin goes to the base and said, "I was like, all right, shut it down and put everything on Project Stardust." You know, we all
Right.
know what that is, right?
That's our.
So my um my assumption is that that's Rogue One, kind of like right around the hey, we need people to come in and back us up kind of thing. So
So you don't think it's, do you think like this is like early stages of the rebellion? Like they're just coming together, the rebellion.
this kind of like a New Hope.
Right. Because like
Yeah,
there isn't really like a real squad. Like Mon
yeah.
Mothma's like just putting together a group, really.
Right. Yeah. No, this is like the rebellion's already established, and they're just looking for people. So this to me is like New Hope, kind of like timeline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, I don't think it's super far out. I know clones age differently too, so
oh yeah,
they kind of
the
a hard to
99s are
tell.
not like they're different, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, but no, I like that everyone kind of got their happy endings. The crosshair game, the hand cut, super violent, like you're saying, but like so Star Wars. Someone has to lose their hand in Star Wars.
Someone
And
had to
I was
lose a
like,
limb.
well, this is a way to do it.
Yeah.
Very, very Star Wars. So
Yeah.
I
They
enjoyed it. But
yeah
like you said, this is a violent episode. I mean,
yeah.
gosh, you literally see like, soldiers getting straight up impaled, like with sword,
Yeah.
like go like just like violent
Like
stuff. That's
blaster
insane.
shots.
Oh yeah, they weren't on stun. Those were on
No,
kills. Like
yeah,
the
yeah,
red,
those,
they were on red. Yeah,
yeah, they were on red.
they were on red. I was like, oh snap,
Yeah, man.
that's kill shots.
It
Dr.
was
Hemlock was
yeah.
like
Hemlock
super
got,
crazy.
and then Snalase got shot,
I yeah,
and then
blue result.
and then like it wasn't really like that. That scene was really good. It was
Yeah,
really tense, and it showed that it, once not I don't want to say once an imperial always an imperial, right? But because we've
yeah,
seen him turn, but the a lot of the officers were looking out for themselves and
yeah.
not say
Rampart's no
like really
different.
yeah Rampart yeah and she wanted to protect Omega and like she was smart to arm the thermal detonator like beforehand, so
Yeah,
like it was really good. Like yeah, all that data's gone, and we know that that's something that comes back in Mando when Gideon kind of like
correct.
he tries to restart that project. So um, yeah,
Clearly, it's failed over time for different reasons,
Right.
but
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
why like Snoke is kind of like an abomination of its own kind. Like it just
Exactly.
happened.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
here, so with all this, happening, it made me think, um, what if, you know, this is going back to episode 9 when Palpy does the sky lightning. Um, could that have been part of the Zillo Beast experiments? Because the Zillo
Oh,
Beast
could
had
be.
kind of
Yeah.
like a EMP sort of like power, and that's what he was looking for, right?
Right.
So just when they showed the Zillo Beast, that I for some reason I thought of that. I was like, oh,
Ah,
maybe they kept some of that data and put it in that clone that Palpy used in episode
Exegol.
9, and then that's why
Yeah.
he can do that big EMP thing. So, not Magneto. We'll come back to that in a second. But yeah, overall, really enjoyed it. Gonna miss this show. So
Yeah, it's
I'm
sad because it's the end due to the prequel time, really.
right.
That's like D. Bradley Baker made it clear, like this is literally like
Yeah,
our the last thing closing out that timeline from like a full on series.
yeah.
Like that's it.
And now the next thing that we're gonna get is Outlaws, which
Yeah.
is between Empire and Return, right?
Right.
So maybe we'll see something set in that timeline. Um, I yeah,
I think Dave's next thing is gonna be to try and help retcon the sequels. I could see them try to use him to make another animated show that somehow is like how I don't mean this in a way like you know how I feel about the prequels. Like I like them, right?
right,
But like I would not be shocked that the same way people perceive that Clone Wars helped amplify the prequels. Like now
right,
the prequels hit different
right.
because of how good Clone Wars was. Rebels didn't need to help the original trilogy. That's already beloved. So that's, I'm not gonna say that at
I
all.
think I
But
think
I could
Rebels added to the prequels. You
added to the
know,
prequels and
yeah,
really just that space in between that was kind of weird.
right,
But I could see them trying to like let him make something that helps add to the sequels.
right,
What stories to be told in between? The Last Jedi has a huge gap of time that there's a lot
right.
of things going on, what the rebellion's fighting, and you're hearing about these different things that you could try to help retcon some things for
Yeah,
sure.
the last yeah, the in between the Last Jedi and Rise, and then how did uh I forgot her name, forgettable.
Ray?
No,
I'm like,
the
what?
lady, big eye lady. Um,
Oh,
see,
a Lupita's character.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
How did she find a lightsaber? Right, that was never
Oh,
explained in the
sure.
movies. Like it was on a comic
Never
book, but I
said.
was like, no one cares about the comic book. Tell me in a
Yeah.
movie, right? So yeah, that's a story, right? So they got stories to tell.
You're
So
right. You're right.
now it's eating me that I forgot her name.
I
Dang
know,
it.
right? I keep.
Dang it. You're trying to remember. I was like, all right, hold on. Let's look it up.
I just hear in my head when she just like screams, Han
Han
Solo.
Solo. Yeah. Um.
And then he greets her with whatever her name is, and I can't remember her name right now, which is
Uh.
crazy because like I should know this, but
Oh man. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Okay, Force Awakens. Let's see.
Maz
Mascanada.
Kanata, same time. Maz Kanata.
Mascanada. All
Cool
right.
name, actually.
So, yeah,
Star Wars
we're
has some cool names.
we're there. Yeah, yeah. Cool. All right. X-Men. All right. How, Joe? How is this the best Marvel thing since Endgame?
I know.
It
I
is.
know.
It
It
is.
doesn't. It hasn't
Pro-
missed.
well,
An episode hasn't
probably
missed.
Spidey. Probably Spidey. Spidey was good. I really like
No,
Spidey.
Spidey's really good. I
Spidey,
agree.
yeah.
I
But
100%
Spidey
agree.
was in this show. Um, bro. It's like, all right. So I guess going to last week, which was the aftermath, like we were
Yeah,
expecting to see, right? Um, Confirmed that Melon Pryor's dead, and they found kind of like paid an homage to the comics, and they found White Queen under the debris and all that. So pretty brutal stuff, right? There was like a lot of casualties, and then Xavier's out there chilling in space, and I was like, well, we all know, and we all knew. Um, so Xavier's on his way back, and then yeah, basically the aftermath, and then we get to see uh, Cable confront Cyclops and let him know. It's like, yo, it's like, oh, and then see him realizing it, and then because of Jean's connection to Madeline,
yeah.
then she knows, and all that, and like family drama, very good stuff. Um, and then it's revealed that Bastion is the one that's behind all the, what happened in Genosha and all that. So, but then let's go ahead and jump over to this week, because this week was not only a very scary episode, because
Yeah.
it was very scary. Um, it was probably one of the best action. I don't want to say action sequences, but um, uh, yeah. Let's call it. It's probably the best action sequence in an animated show that I've seen in a while. It was pretty good. Just because it was very innovative and they did very cool things. I mean, if you watch Invincible, Invincible has some really cool stuff, right? But you gotta keep it PG-13 ish with this show. It's not they can't go too crazy
No, not at
with
all.
blood and guts. So yeah, the Wolverine was great. Nightcrawler was awesome. Everyone had a part to play. The sequence with Cyclops, Jeans, and Cable on the car was really cool. Um, Man, and yeah, you were right about Dr. Cooper. I was like,
I saw it.
is she Mystique, or is she, or I mean, is she human? Right?
Something's up.
Yeah, something's
Something's
up.
up.
Um, and yeah, so she tries to get or sympathize with Magneto because he's being held captive. Oh yeah, and then last week it was revealed that he was being held captive by Bastion. Um, and yeah, man, and they went crazy. Like the plan went through, so I guess everyone's a Sentinel, or could be a Sentinel, right? Um, is that something that spread through? That wasn't something that was spread through the food supply, right? It was something else that he
I'm not
did.
sure. I'm not sure.
It wasn't really
No,
explained how
not at
he
all.
did it,
Not that
right?
I caught.
Yeah, because I know the food supply stuff was in Logan,
Right.
like where they tried, and that's how they were able to suppress mutants through the food supply. But I'm not sure how they didn't really explain. So that's something that we got to find out. It's like, how was he able to do this,
Totally.
right? Like we got the backstory on how what happened to him and why he is the way he is, and how he's able to have this like very advanced tech, because he's even from like 300 years from what Cable's future, right? So he's like
Right, right.
super like future advanced. But then yeah, how was he able to get all these people to turn into Sentinels? So yeah, very good stuff. Magneto's let loose, and then Magneto was right, and he shut everything down with like a super EMP from the North Pole. Um, it was awesome. It was an awesome scene, and yeah, Magneto got out. He's pissed. It's like this is Magneto going. This is Magneto going to be like brutal Magneto. So
100%.
um, very very awesome stuff, dude. Like this show is so freaking good. I love it. But go ahead, dude.
Yeah, it's the one of those episodes that's extremely straightforward and it very and just like reveal, reveal, reveal.
Right.
And even with that, they do a good job of still leaving out a lot of things that we have questions. That is why it keeps you as a series want to see what's the next episode, not just what's going to happen next, but what's going to just be revealed next. And look, Professor Xavier coming right on through. All right at the end there. Like, okay, we're back.
Yeah.
We're in this. They're gonna get the squad together, and let's let the X-Men lay loose. I cannot wait for this next episode just to see what fully they're gonna do from not just the story, but just like things that they've set up, the seeds that they've left in the ground. I'm sure, Obed, you've seen with Spider-Man. A lot of people are saying we want the Spider-Man 98. I for a while said this is what they talked about at MegaCon. Like he was a character that was supposed to cross over. Silver Surfer was supposed to cross over because there was a series at the time, and the Avengers was supposed to cross over fully in there. We're
Right.
getting the things that they want from then. They're able to do it right now,
Right.
and I love that we're seeing the payoff for that. Doesn't need to be anything crazy. It's just cool moments like that that lead up to like if they really wanted, they could do more, but it's just fun regardless because it reminds me and feels very comic booky, and it is very much something that like it's something that like the whole story as a while just as a whole feels like it's being accurate to the comics. I mean, just the
Yeah. It's
overall
very good.
like you know the voices of this the different enemies that are teaming up with Bastion that we're speaking of them. You have Zemo and Doctor
Doctor
Doom
Doom. Yeah.
and like I'm like, okay, like this is getting sweaty, man. Like
Right.
this is really good stuff.
Right. And then you get, Magneto when he does the EMP, like, Spidey feels it, and
Yeah,
then, you know, Silver Samurai's there, and
yeah,
Omega Red wakes up, right? There's stuff happening, right? And then we go back to last week when Rogue was looking for, answers, and she found Ross, and she found Cap, and
yeah. Oh yeah,
Cap was already on it. It's like, no, it's like I'm already on it, which is like,
yeah.
well, we got to do this the right way. And she's like, no, man, let's go ahead and do this thing.
Very
But
symbolic.
you know, so Cap was there trying to uh, follow procedure, right? Which is
Hmm.
the way he operates, right? Um and the way Rogue should have, she should have waited for the rest of the team and not gone too crazy, right? Because then she was out of commission in this episode, which would have been cool to see her in action. But I'm sure
Totally.
we'll get that. We'll get
Yeah.
the opportunity to see her again, like going crazy with the fake Sentinels. So, um, and then she it's like she tosses Cap's shield to like
Which
middle of nowhere. Like,
oh, you don't need this.
Cap's
Gone.
like, great. I was like, you probably find it pretty quick, um, but yeah, that's all building up to what's coming up in this next two episodes. So yeah, this episode part one of three. Yeah, very shreddy, like you said. There's like a lot of moving pieces, and it seems like it's building up to like a big confrontation. Um, at the end, not only from the X Men and Bastion's side, but like there's going to be more added. So
Totally.
if Doom's involved and Zemo's involved, that Cap and the Fantastic Four are around.
This
So
is only season one, dude.
there's another one coming, and I'm sure, dude. I'm he's gonna this guy's got to be back. Like I'm sure they already talked to him again,
In some
and
capacity,
he's gonna be a
maybe.
James Gunn type of
Didn't he write though
scenario.
already the second and third already?
The second,
Something like that?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
So,
there's something there.
dude, it's nuts. But yeah, we'll see. I'm really really enjoying this show. So,
Yeah.
um, but I guess in the same vein, Deadpool and Wolverine. We haven't talked about it.
No,
We avoided talking about it when we saw each other over the weekend.
we did. We did.
But I want to hear your impressions first. Go ahead.
Yeah, like in general, Deadpool's not my traditional forte. So yeah, like, gosh, dude, it did not seem like a real trailer at first. Walking up to Logan inside the bar, and all of a sudden, like, I was like, wait, what is this? And just the overall feeling that this trailer gives you is not anything like I don't know. It's just not anything that's similar to what you have to the last two movies. It's way more like serious. It feels like it has something very big that's attached to it. But overall, the main stuff is again like having all the cameos, but it's not just like cameos, it's the intentionality of what it really means. So like obviously having, like Zahazel back and the other lady with
Oh,
the
a say so you mean from
from First Class and
yeah,
LA from
like
X2
like
and
Death Strike,
Deathstrike and
Sabretooth. Like
Sabretooth.
there's a
Yep.
lot of people have been
Spot in there. Like,
Callisto, yeah, a lot of
like
like this is like going back to
they're
all the old
tapping
X Men
in.
stuff. Yeah,
They're tapping into the old stuff there.
yeah,
The obviously the helmet and skull of Ant-Man.
right,
Like this universe, Ant-Man's dead,
yeah,
and then you have the villain who is maybe you may not know. She is the relative family member sister of Xavier. So when she's like with the wheelchair thing, like it's all a joke about her actual brother. Um, Gosh, Obed, I think there's so many little things
there's a lot.
we
Yeah,
have to read between the lines and connect what we believe the overall story.
right.
But I don't think everything is even close to being revealed to us. I think we're going to see a lot of iterations of the same characters, an extremely multiversal type of film, a film that gets the multiverse potentially better than Doctor Strange, which wouldn't be hard to do. And I think with this, I'm just saying it as it is. But I think this movie's gonna clearly tap into that side a lot more, but not like in a way of just like fan service for fan service. Like I think there's gonna be a big implication for the future of the MCU and the Avengers films going forward. And the moment you see the portal opening up and these guys jumping through,
Yeah,
Wong is in here? Like, is Cumberbatch
yeah,
like what? Who is in this, and where is this thing going? I just love that we have questions. I don't want to see anymore. The movie's coming here in a month and a half or whatever it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Gosh, incredibly surprising trailer. A lot
did
thrown in there.
Did you hear that Snipes is supposed to be back as Blade?
I believe that. I heard that Chris Evans is supposed to be in this movie.
Yeah, man. So everyone's in. in
Everybody in.
yeah, I. So I wonder they that means that whatever the next Avengers thing is, right now that
Yeah,
Kang's getting ridden out and or faced, I guess. Whatever the next thing is, it's gotta be like galactic level huge.
for sure,
Galactus level huge. Possibly, right?
for sure.
So, oh, man, I I'm really excited for this movie.
Yeah,
I am really
yeah.
excited. I'm going out of my way and catching it because
Okay.
it's there's no way around it. Like to me right now, like I gotta go
I
see it.
mean,
So
I don't think Marvel can afford for this to be bad. If this
no,
movie is bad, they are in huge trouble.
yeah,
I think I've said it before on the podcast, but
right,
like how Superman needs to be good for DC,
yeah,
this needs to be good for Marvel.
yep. It's it's make or break time for them for
It
sure.
doesn't even need to be great. It just needs to be good.
Yeah, yeah. But from what I read and heard, they're doing like cameo reshoots right now.
Yeah.
Like still, like it's a month and a half away, which means it's probably not gonna be too like CGI, VFX intensive, but having still having like reshooting cameos and adding stuff to the movie, and we're a month and a half away. So yeah, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big, and they're banking on it. They're going all out. Right? They're keeping the R rating. They're going all out. Uh, they got fan favorites, cameos galore. They, I mean, it has the right stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. It's pretty exciting. So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Joel, an update from some breaking news that we had, I think, last episode. The I guess Sony and Apollo are proposing a 26 billion deal for Paramount Global. There was a rumor earlier this week that Skydance was going to be merging with Paramount, or they were interested,
Right.
but it looks Sony's out here with cash, and they're making the move. So
Yeah.
this may happen pretty quick, I guess.
Yeah, according to the Wall Street Journal, actually Skydance Entertainment, their negotiating window with Paramount is actually set to expire, which is why Sony and Apollo is coming in to put this offer, because they're waiting for that window to end, and then they can step in and say, hey, now we can, just fully acquire the whole thing and not to talk to the sub parts of it, if that makes sense. So yeah, like I did not see this coming. It sounds like Sony is very much in the buying and acquisition mode. Um, man, I Paramount is going to get sold. Paramount is not going to be its own thing anymore. It's going to be in a new home this
Yeah,
year. And where everyone thought Disney, Obed thought Disney was going to get an act being merged into another company. It's Paramount, guys.
yeah. Someone did. I'll still take it. I'll still take the pineapple on pizza. It may happen
Yep.
tomorrow. Who
Oh, it
knows?
might happen tomorrow.
Oh man. Oh man. This is huge, man.
Yeah.
This is really big. Um, this is. I mean, Paramount's an institution, right? But Paramount's,
Right.
they merged with Viacom. They were part of something else before that. Um,
Big properties.
yeah, huge properties. Like they got the Sonic stuff right now. Top Gun and
Ninja Turtles.
Transformers, and they do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
important.
Ninja Turtles, Mission Impossible.
Right. Right. Oh, that's right. So, would Nickelodeon and MTV be part of the deal, or?
Yeah. That's all the same parent company, Viacom,
Oh man.
right? Same thing, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Let me see. Hold on.
I think.
Let me check this article here. Uh, the was not kind of my name was saying. Um, I don't see anything. Hold on.
There's a lot of questions to figure out. Like, well, how does that work? Because is it just Paramount Pictures or Paramount? They're saying it's Paramount Global. So like this is
Paramount
like Paramount
Global.
Paramount. This is not
Let's
just
let's look at Wikipedia. Let's see what they have on their divisions. Paramount Pictures, CBS, Paramount Media, Paramount Networks International, streaming, consumer, list of subsidiaries. Let's see. Nickelodeon Movies,
Yep, it's all on
Paramount
there.
Music, CBS Entertainment Group, TV channels, MTV. Dang, dude.
Sony's
Showtime.
adding another gem to the Infinity Stone.
Showtime. And yeah, Nickelodeon's going. Wow, dude. Sony got Nickelodeon? That's
Did not
huge,
see that
man.
coming. That's huge.
That's huge. Don't
Huge.
let Amy Pascal get close to the Ninja Turtles.
Or letter.
We'll get huh? No, or
Or
letter.
letter.
No.
Because
No.
Spider-Verse is crazy
Oh
good.
my gosh.
And into the
No, but
Spider-Verse
I mean
and
the live action stuff.
I know. But then I know. It's gosh, yeah.
We'll get
The
hey
Last
no
Ronin.
hey you know what Last Running is happening, yeah, and it's
Right.
live action, but it's gonna get to the point. It's like, oh, we need a Splinter Shredder like prequel, like back in Japan, or in it's like who needs that? I mean, I hey, you know what? Hey, yeah, but Last Running is happening, so that's the thing. Yeah, dude, this is huge. This is
Yeah.
really big. Um,
So Sony making
wow.
moves.
A this is that's very very impressive. Very
And
impressive.
the fact
So
that it's a cash offer essentially, 26 billion, dude, they've been sitting on money.
yeah,
Sony's got cash right
they got
now.
cash. Yeah,
They're ready.
man, that's
And they're
insane.
not gonna something like this. How does this affect Universal? Like Universal has a good relationship with some of Paramount's intellectual properties and some of their things
Right.
there.
How do they branch
Um,
out, right? How do they,
because what if Sony decides that they
because
just want to make a theme park?
they could at that point,
At that point, you
right?
have enough IPs. You could just do it for giggles and see what happens.
Man. See, and again, what's crazy, and I don't want to go again into it because I see it seems like every week I talk about the same thing. It's because I'm very passionate about it. I really do care about it.
Yeah.
But um, we talked about the villain's land and all that. Who cares, bro? And like there's a lot of blue sky stuff out there that Disney talked about that just and okay. Well, let's go ahead and soft move
Yeah.
over to, I mean, the confirmation we've well known, right? But
Yeah.
the
Worst kept secret.
confirmation that worst kept secret that Super Nintendo World is happening at Epic Universe. Um, and they dropped the video today, and they can't compete,
No.
bro. They can't compete. So why are you
They're gonna
doing
win.
Villain's Land when you got that going on the other side, dude? You gotta you gotta put your big boy pants on, Disney, and do something. Like this is no joke, right? I'm looking at this video, and in my head, even though I love Disney, I'm like, and I always will,
Oh
right?
yeah. You
It's
love them.
it's like, oh, this guy's just screwed. It's like I'm watching this video. It's like, oh no, oh no. It's it's a
and
lot, bro.
and the rumors, and I've talked to people.
We know people, yeah,
We know people. Don't print an article headline about this, but like 100%, this is such an early phase one of all of these lands. They have already mapped out expansions of all of these
yep.
things for the coming term future at post, official
Post
opening of all
opening,
of this. So this ain't gonna be no, oh, you just have just Mario and your Donkey Kong country and that's it.
set and
No,
forget
bro.
it. No,
That thing's gonna keep growing and growing and like how Harry Potter is growing. Like, dude,
right,
they have plans.
right. And what are the plans on the other side?
I'd be very scared,
See,
whatever those
uh,
plans are. That's
mm,
probably under lock and key right now.
I, it's I am very concerned. Well, it's not. So here's the thing. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned from the. I'm not. People are still gonna go.
100%.
That's not gonna take away from what they're doing.
But they ain't gonna be the cool kids
But
in
they're not gonna
town.
be the cool kids anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
There's
That's
a
the
new cool
thing.
kid.
That's the thing, right?
There's the new international
That's
student
like
that's coming to class.
Their Gatorade
Yeah.
to their prime, right?
Yes. Yes.
See,
Yes.
see,
Yes.
see.
This
They're
is
Gatorade to their prime. You know, I'm telling you.
kids don't know Mickey Mouse the way they know Mario.
Yeah, man. Very interesting
And
stuff.
I want to know what those hotels are gonna be like. Because if those hotels are a whole nother wonderful experience,
I think that big one in the
that's a
back is gonna be like mind blowing, dude.
because Disney has been very good at their hotels. They have a very good like people like make it like a full thing. Like I have my Disney hotel and I
Right,
have my parks and like the whole family trip experience. You feel like you're in a whole nother world and you're having a great time.
right.
But if Universal does something really like that special
It
with their
sounds like it.
hotels, with
Yeah,
thing and the way it seems,
yeah.
on all those influencers are gonna start going out there and being like,
Right.
okay, that's good.
Yeah. It's that's the thing, right? Because people are still gonna go. Like, but you're not gonna be the cool kids anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You hit it right there. Yeah, again. It's like yeah, you're Gatorade. You're here. You're well established. Everyone knows who you are, right? But here comes Prime. Takes a cut out of your paycheck, and that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And where like like All right, we can move on. We got stuff to talk about. But yeah, Paramount, dude. Um, it again. Just going back to, well, I've mentioned, like, like why villains? Why try and do, like, no one cares about your old stuff anymore. No one cares about villains. Like, the villains was hot in 2004. Like, no, like in 2006 Max, right? Like, no one cares about these things. Where are the partnerships? Why are these guys not partnering, right?
That's where Eisner was strong at. Nothing
Right.
against Iger.
Eisner was
Iger's really
Paramount.
good at buying stuff, but Eisner understood how to bring in other people to help instead of reinventing the wheel.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, the best example I can give you, and this is an Eisner example. They wanted to do a restaurant with animatronics and make it like an ambience thing, right? Oh, they wanted to make their own, and then they told them, "Oh, there's this guy doing this thing called Rainforest Cafe. You want to check it out?" And
Exactly.
they brought him into property. You
Perfect.
partner, man, because there's people
Perfect.
out there doing really cool stuff, right? You're not the only ones. You're doing really cool stuff
No.
because you are, right? Like, I'm not gonna
Yes.
take it away from Disney. They're doing some really
Not at
cutting
all.
edge
They're
stuff out
amazing.
there, incredible, right? But at the same time, right? Don't limit yourself with your own IPs. Like, like Sonic 2 did better than all of your, like, animated movies combined in the last, like, 3 years.
Right. Right.
Like, where's that, right?
Dang,
I,
little
I
bitches.
I am just, I'm very passionate about it, man, and I want it to succeed,
Yeah.
but they're not they're not listening. They're not listening,
No.
man.
They're
And
focused on some of the wrong things. It's
it's
a little obvious.
right, right.
A little obvious.
It's obvious that
They have the magic still. They aren't tapping into it.
no, absolutely,
It's there. They can
it's
easily.
there, right? It's there. It's just that they're not they're not getting, how should I word this? And this is like my English as a second language thing, like, kind of like impeding me from expressing myself properly.
You can say
Um,
it in Spanish. Maybe some of our listeners wrote
so,
one
well,
and love it.
no, they're holding themselves hostage to their own shortcomings.
Mm,
And what I mean with that, right? If they know that these things are not doing good, if they know that there's being a little bit of pushback, if they know, like I get Zootopia, Zootopia's perfect. I get Coco,
yeah.
Coco's perfect. I like
Yeah.
those properties, yes, like, that's
Absolutely.
cool, right?
Yes.
I
Yes.
think Coco is like 4 years too late, in my
Yeah.
opinion, to bring to the parks,
Yeah.
and that's the reality of it,
Yeah.
right? Bro, like, you go on YouTube and you find, there's a suggested video is 5 years old. You're probably not gonna watch it.
No.
That's too old. Like, I
Yeah.
try to not. I don't watch content that happened like over 6 months ago,
Right.
like, on YouTube. Like, I gotta keep
Right.
it fresh. So why are you going back to these properties that, you know, I don't want to say no one cares about, because they're good properties, Joel,
Right.
but they're not gonna bring people in.
Correct.
Like Coco's not gonna get me into go to the parks.
No. And the kids have already, like you were saying, 4 years and all stuff. Like it's like Moana opening
This
that up now, right? It's
right.
not the same thing. Like, I mean, Coco, they're trying to do something bigger, but it's like if the kid was 4, now they're 8. They're at a different stage of life now. If the kid was 8, now they're 12. Like when that thing came out. These are different. That there's a huge change. That's a presidency. I mean, like there's a difference in like where you were at that time. And so, yeah, trying to stay relevant. Not saying you have to always
That's the
update your
thing.
stuff within the time,
Yeah.
but you have to strike when the iron's hot. Like I think Frozen was the perfect timing when they did Frozen
Right.
at Epcot,
They
dude.
moved real quick, and that's
But that's
perfect.
that's like Disney before COVID. They were hitting the iron while it was hot. They knew
Yeah.
exactly their timing to do this stuff.
Right. Right. I don't know. And then again, yeah, this guy's reinventing, like, their dark universe thing that works really well with that park, and
Yeah.
they can't. It's really frustrating. It seems to me, right, that it's not lack of vision. It's like a cohesiveness in leadership.
Sure. Yeah,
That's what it is. So, but we'll see. And we'll definitely keep an eye on Paramount because that thing is huge. So,
for sure.
for sure we'll keep an eye on that.
2025 Epic Universe Mario Land.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. Joe, there's a few gaming things out there. Do you wanna go through that, or you wanna wrap it up since we can move this to next week since it's not pressing.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
So it's up to
Sounds
you.
good. No, I'm open either way. I got so if you want to
I,
talk about one of
yeah.
them or
Well,
two or all of them,
let's do Switch 2, right?
let's do that.
So it's out there that the Switch 2, as they're calling it, is confirmed to be kind of like in the same level as a PS4 Pro, and that's we talked about it, and it seems like that is to be the case. But they're saying that two things that come out early this week is that um, rumor is that it's going to have magnetic Joy Cons, like the Joy Cons would attach to the
Love
device
that.
magnetically. Perfect, right? I think the Joy Cons themselves on the device work great. Once you put the wrist strap, that then you
I
start
don't
having
use those.
problems.
I don't use those
You don't
things,
use
dude.
those.
I hold them just straight up.
See, the problem that those things have is that if you if you put them the wrong way, you can't take them out. You have to like yank them out, and that happened to me, man. So
I
so
know.
you learn
Yep.
your lesson.
Yep.
But the other thing is that although it is to be close to a PS4 Pro when it comes to compute power or
Yeah.
graphics fidelity, I guess, um, it will be um, based on the rumors would be downclocked while undocked to preserve battery life.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
um, in order, like, you can dock the device. Once the device is docked, you can get full power. But when you undock it, you may take a significant performance hit because they want to keep the battery life um, to a level where everyone's good, and not like a Steam Deck where you have 45 minutes of gameplay. And again, Steam Deck's a great device, but you can't run this thing at high
Totally.
settings and expect 6 hours battery life. I'm not saying that that's going to be the case with Switch 2 because the Switch gives you
Right.
2.5 to 3 tops when it comes to battery life. But if this thing can give you 2.5 hours battery life, right? Um, Even if it's underclocked, that's I think that's pretty good, and a lot of people would really like that. So, looking forward to see what they offer. But what do you think of this rumors that are out there?
Yeah, I'm a fan of all the news that's coming out about this, and it's not just because how much I love the Switch one, but if there was something, this is, I think you have to be so protective of the next iteration of this thing with how long they've taken to do it, you
Right,
and also with the history of what came before with the Wii U, um, that you have to make sure you don't do anything that's gonna, jeopardize or cause a different conversation around the next console. And I think all the information coming out of here sounds great from the simple magnetizing of like how that's like a small design flaw,
right,
whoever their design team is just sitting there thinking that's just going to completely revolutionize
right,
just the way that thing runs. The having it clocked low and when it's undocked and when it's docked, the clock's a lot faster. You've said this for a while, Obed. Like when it's in a dock, like they can use something to try and let that thing run as heavy and hard as it needs to for when it's on that big screen to be able to have the performance match up with similar to current gen at least style graphics that's being hoped for.
right.
I'm just curious overall how the experience, how it's gonna feel when you're really in it. But yeah, I like the news we're hearing right now.
Yeah. Again, rumor is that this thing's gonna get pushed to next year. I think that
Oh,
I
but 2 years later after
I
your
think
prediction.
I know, man. I think it may come out this year. The because there's no Nintendo first party games announced for after this month. Like we get the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake and the Luigi's Mansion 2 remake. And that's it. Or not remake, but HDs. Um, there's nothing else first party announced for the rest of the year, and I doubt that they'll have an empty year, and I think that they're done with like remasters and remakes. Peach came out, that came out, reviews were good, and then these two games are coming out soon, but there's nothing else for the rest of the year. So my thinking is that maybe this thing's probably gonna get announced in summer and come out in the fall, but I could be wrong, and they could just do a reveal like January, and then come out in March like they did with the Switch. So, but it's they need it. Well, they don't really need it though. But
No,
they don't really need it, but they do, right? Because
you
they,
need it.
yeah, I need it. I need it not to, not so I can not
You
eat that
needed that like
shrimp.
last
I
year.
already ate the shrimp. I don't care. But
True.
um, there's there's a demand for it. Like people are buying these other premium handheld devices, and they're keeping their eye out for Microsoft and Sony and see what they're doing. Microsoft, like there's rumors again that they're gonna go full multiplat and that their sales are really real bad, like worse
Yeah.
than a lot of people think. So we'll come back to that next week, but no, it's yeah, Nintendo's doing their thing, man. They're selling this thing. This thing's probably gonna outsell the PS2, the original Switch. I mean, so when this thing comes out, if they pile it on top, they're definitely gonna have the number one selling system ever. And on top of that, rumors are that this thing is gonna be fully compatible with Switch games. So if you have your library set up, yeah, there you go. Hey, you can go enjoy that on the Switch. Which I was talking to my daughter, and it's like, oh yeah, like she was telling me, it's like, oh yeah, they really do need to have the Switch games on it because that way you'll have more games. So I was like, oh, there you go. Yeah, see, even a kid can think about this. So, um, yeah, good stuff. We'll see what happens from
Yeah.
here until next week. Next week, we're still on our toes slash TBD, but
Week to week.
more than likely it'll happen. So,
Yeah.
we'll keep you guys posted. Joe, in the
Absolutely.
meantime, sir, where can everyone find us?
Everybody, make sure you stay subscribed to No Load Time on podcast platforms of your choice, spaces like Spotify, Amazon Music, SoundCloud. Find us, subscribe to us. You can also write a review on those platforms, would really, really help us out. Additionally, subscribe to the No Load Time YouTube channel where we've got all of our videos coming out, clips from the episodes, and more. Subscribe for future content, like those videos, and drop a comment. We're not asking for money, we're asking you for your support on these platforms. It helps us out really a lot. So thank you. And then also, if you could follow us on social media at No Load Time, that's at No Load Time, Facebook threads, Instagram, TikTok. We are out there. We look forward to having you guys following us. You also can follow us on Twitch. No load times, no load time all together. If you're watching right now the video version, you'll see all the handles I talked about down below. Last but not least, if you have a question, comment, or feedback, we'd love to hear from you. Send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. And possibly we'll even talk about what you send in on a future episode. Thank you all so much for staying with us. We look forward to having you next time.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.